I know the City's been on a bit of a high since the result last week. Obviously, be hoping for more of the same this week, I take it.
Aye, definitely. Look, it was a terrific start this season for us. I thought all the boys are outstanding. But look, we've got another job to do again on Thursday. It's still going to be a difficult game. We've got a lot of respect for the opponent. You can see the bits of play that they've got quality on the side, so we need to be wary of that. But we'll go over our game plan and we'll execute it the best we can on Thursday.
How good did it feel to secure such a decisive result? I mean, 5-1. I mean, it's by no means a low-scoring game.
No, definitely not. I mean, a lot of goals, a lot of good play from us, and I was just really happy for all the boys and the coaching staff as well, because we've all put a lot of work in throughout pre-season, and it paid out in the end. And look, but the round's not finished yet. We've still got a second half to go really on Thursday, and hopefully we can put it to bed.
And I know a lot has been made about the difference having the fans in the stadium was, and the kind of atmosphere that was created. And I know a decision is going to be made today about the next games at Pittodrie and whether fans will be allowed back in and how many fans that will be. I mean, I suppose if it was decided again to have fans back at the stadium, how much of a boost would that be?
Oh, it'd be massive. Even the other night, I think we'd only 5,000-6,000, but I felt a lot more than that. The atmosphere was great, and you've got to take your hat off to the Aberdeen fans. The backing we've had, even through social media last season, when they couldn't get to the games, and now that they're getting back in now, it's great to have them back, and I'm just really happy that things are starting to go back to normal now, and hopefully we can get back to full stadiums as soon as possible.
And just very lastly from me, Ross, I know there's quite a few new faces in the squad this year, and a few new faces in the dressing room, and just seeing the way that the squad's kind of performed last week. And I mean, something seems to be working. I mean, just tell me about the kind of feel-good vibe that seems to be running through the team at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. I think the faces we brought in, they've all hit the ground running. Obviously, we're two up top, Big Chris, and you've got Big Jet as well up there. But they give you that base up top as well. To whenever the ball goes up, they're always holding it up, and I think that's at times we maybe missed that last season. And all the new boys have come in, they've gelled really well. They've felt part of the group, and obviously we've got a big signing as well under Scott Brown. I think he's been terrific since he came in. Just his experience, his know-how of the game. He's won plenty of trophies throughout his career, so I'm sure he can pass down his past experiences to help the team in the future.
Cheers, Ross. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, Ross. I'll defer.
No, you go, Chris. There you go.
Ross, another change of position for you. I know you've played there and got a few minutes for Aberdeen, but it's different kind of maybe filling in for a league game than it is making the season debut in European competition. How much did you enjoy that alongside old stager Yes Sir I Can Boogie?
Big Andy, yeah. No, it was good to be fair. I played there quite a lot. I played there in pre-season, even last season. There was at times where I dropped back into defence. But look, it's a position I'm very familiar with as well. When I was at Rangers, that's where I played until I was converted into a midfielder. So, and I developed myself as a centre back throughout the youth ranks. So it's a position I know very well, and it's I think it's just a credit to myself. I've got that versatility in me. I can play in a couple of positions as well. But look, I've enjoyed playing next to Andy. But we've got a lot of competition in there. We've got Big Decky Gallagher as well. He's a really good player, and look, it's just all good for the squad having that good competition. But no, I've enjoyed it. Good result the other night, but we've got another big game again on Thursday.
The performance and, if you like, the level of entertainment, the quality of the football maybe surprised the Aberdeen fans. Obviously, it had been quite a low-key pre-season. People hadn't been able to watch you guys develop under Stephen Glass. Were you as players surprised at all how it came together?
Nah, I don't think any of us were surprised in the building, to be fair. Like we've all worked really hard throughout pre-season. We've all worked in a different kind of the final third, different combination play, and I think you could see that the other night. Our goals were great. Just the play from either the individual quality or the team, the combinations we did. It was terrific, and we got plenty of goals. That's maybe something that we missed, especially like last season as well. And now we're hoping to try and change that now and get a lot more goals, and that's a good start for us.
Without being too negative, but I will ask you this anyway. They scored one chance. They did have another couple of pretty decent clear-cut chances, one from a set piece, I think, a corner, one early on in the game that may have made it a different complexion. How much of a threat, because they are just going to throw the kitchen sink at you on an artificial pitch at home?
Aye, they're going to come out all guns blazing because they need to get back in the game. But obviously, we were disappointed to lose the goal in the last game. But we've got a lot of respect for the opponent. They're a good side. Like they wouldn't be in European qualifiers if they weren't a good enough team. But we know the qualities they have and the kind of players they've got that can hurt us. So we'll be on our toes on Thursday and we'll be aware of what the opponent can bring to us.
Fantastic. Very best of luck.
Thank you.
Hi Ross, how are you?
I'm not bad, yourself?
Yeah, really good, thanks. Great to see you. Just on Scott Brown, firstly, Ross, he appears to have made an immediate and very, very positive impression on the group. What, in your opinion, has he added to the dressing room?
I think Scott Brown's just a leader. He's an out-and-out leader. You've seen that throughout the years when he's been at Celtic. He's won trophy after trophy. Pardon me. And I think he could hopefully bring that winning mentality into us as well. And I wouldn't mind if he could win a trophy as well, to be fair. But no, look, Bruni's been terrific since he came in. Just around the building. He's always happy, he's always chuffy. On the training pitch, he's always helping out players, the younger ones especially as well. And he's just trying to pass down his experiences to the team and also put in his bits of coaching as well. But look, he's been terrific and all may continue.
It's been like a kind of fresh breath of fresh air, hasn't it, with the new manager and the new coaching staff and Scott coming in as well. Do you feel that this has the potential to really create something special at the club? Could this be really the start of something?
Look, I'm not going to get too carried away with what we've only one game in. We won 5-1 the other night, and that was a great start for us. But look, obviously we've got our aims in the building, but we keep that behind closed doors. What we want to do this season, but we want to be as successful as we can, and I think as long as we take our focus into each game and not get too carried away and looking ahead of ourselves, I think we'll be all right. And we've got our targets, but we're hoping it's a successful season this season, and I'm more than sure it will be.
And just finally for me, Ross, exciting times and a big few days for the Dons. Of course, Europa action and the Premiership kick-off. How important is it to build up a kind of early head of steam in the campaign?
Definitely. But look, we'll get Europa League game coming up on Thursday. That's the main aim. We need to try and get in the next round. And then we'll take our focus on to Dundee United, which will be a difficult opponent. We've got a lot of respect for them as well. But first and foremost is this game on Thursday. But look, we want to try and get off to the best start as well as possible in the season.
Brilliant. Thanks, Ross. All the best.
Ross, does it feel, obviously you'll know all about the history of Aberdeen, does it feel pretty special to be part of an Aberdeen squad that's going over to Gothenburg? Well,
I've spoke to Simmy a few times, to be fair. I think Simmy's buzzing to get back over there. But that'll be good. It'll be a good experience going over to Sweden. See what the facilities and that are like over at Hacken. And I'm really looking forward to the game. And I'm just hoping we can be successful and we can get through into the next round.
I think it has Simmy been regaling you with stories of that night. Can't even remember how many years ago it is now. 28 years ago.
No, not quite yet. I've had the odd shout over to him about Gothenburg, but he's not quite given us the stories. We might get them on the plane over, so we'll wait and see.
Does that kind of add to the, obviously when you sign for Aberdeen, there's a lot of history there, the club as well. Is it, you feel like you want to be making your own history as well? Is that something that drives you on when you see the kind of photos that are around the stadium, you want to make your own history as well?
Aye, definitely. Look, when I signed for Aberdeen, which I'm grateful for, Bill Gaff McInnes and Dalton, the chairman, for bringing me in. I already knew about the history of the club. I knew how big a club it was, and the aims to try and win trophies, and that's why I came up here, because I want to try and win a trophy for the club, not just the one. I want to try and win a few if it's possible, and try and make the club as successful as we can be.